Curtassa from TGT Webcomics here at C2E2 with one of my favorite comics I've read for a long time. It's Paradigm Shift. Beautiful comic with, of course, the author, Dirk. I mean, this is a great comic. For those that have never read it, go and read the comic itself. Got my guy behind me saying, you know what I'm supposed to do, which is good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Dirk, pleasure to see you.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad to finally interview you. I mean, this is just a wonderful, wonderful comic. I mean, this is just, I've always marveled at the fact that you've done beautiful human drawing, beautiful werewolf drawings, and you're always on the go. You're always on the go with the action. And I mean, I was scrolling down for all of your pages, and I'm sorry, I'm geeking out here, but I love it. I really do.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. I mean, I had this story floating around in my brain, and it just finally just spilled out. I mean, but at the same time, I did try to plan it out so it would have a good sense of pacing and work between building characterization and then letting loose with the crazy action sequences and making it read well. So I'm glad it translated out on the screen.
Oh, it definitely translated. It definitely translated for sure. Especially the fact that you had so many like morphing panels that were sudden and explosive, and and just the emotion that went into that. Especially when you saw like her trying to fight the actual transformation, and it just wasn't going to go, or it wasn't going to work. It's great stuff. I mean,
well, thanks. I mean, I do try to make sure that when I do my scenes, that I'm making sure that the panel layouts actually kind of reflect what's going on in the story. So it's not just, oh, I'm putting a bunch of pictures together, but so when you've got like the transformation sequence or the nightmare, it's almost like the panels are like pushing themselves into out of order, or things are pushing out of the panels or on top of each other to kind of give it a deliberate jumbled sort of look, because that way I felt that it really added to the feel of what was going on in the scene, as opposed to just having a static rectangular panel, which could show beautiful artwork, but it didn't add in a compositional sense. So that's always been sort of one of my deliberate choices when telling the story. I mean, even back at the beginning, the first scene where you see Kate and Mike chasing Frankie down the stairs, and I deliberately kind of gave it a stair step look and put the little elevator numbers in there, just to kind of add something with the panels to make them fit into the scene.
No, definitely. It's been just amazing and great. I mean, your artwork is just top notch. I mean, you've spent hours on doing this, countless hours, obviously.
yeah. I, unlike a lot of other webcomic people, I do put in much like Marvel does. You've got the penciler, you got the inker, you got the colorist, and they're each supposed to do their job in about a day. Well, I kind of do all that, so I'm lucky to have a page clock in at 12 hours, and sometimes they don't. If I do something crazy like this, that's 40 hours, that took a week and a half, but I try to pace myself so I'm going in between, easy pages and then all out pages and then stuff that's in between. But I always felt that it was more important to have a strong artwork for the final story, and if I needed to take the time to do it in order, instead of half-assing it just to get it up on a really quick schedule, even though I know that it's kind of excruciating to read at a page a week when I'm updating, that it's still a stronger story if I do spend the time on the pages instead of just crapping them out and sacrificing that quality for speed.
Most definitely. And now this is your first book. This is a culmination of your years of work, basically. And this is great. We're going to get some nice product shots as well for you here, and all of that stuff. And I just love the fact that you're here. You're in Chicago. You're at C2E2, the inaugural convention here. What do you expect out of this convention?
Well, it is a first-year show, so I'm here as much as a scouting mission as anything else. else. But I know the past few years, you know, Chicago's had Wizard World, but it's always catered to a very different crowd, and I've appreciated the fact that they've done like a webcomics pavilion, and they seem to be mimicking more of like a San Diego sort of feel here in Chicago, and I feel that that's a better direction to go. So I figured, well, for one, I got invited to be a part of Indie Island, which is, this is a first for me, and I'm very much feel honored to be a part of this. And so I said, oh, what the heck, I'll come and give this one a shot this year instead of Wizard, because I know what Wizard is, but this one's a new one, so I figured, let's give this one a try, and I like the vibe of it. I think it feels good. You know, today's a Friday, so it's a little slow, but it's not bad. So I think it'll be a good convention. It definitely has the right feel. So I suspect, unless things change drastically, I'll be likely back again next year. So.
Good stuff. Now, you kind of hinted with the whole mustache twirl of sorts there that, you know, you're getting ready for book 2. You're going to get that started and all that stuff. I personally can't wait for it, but can you give us a little tidbit of what might be happening?
Sure. So, well, as you and any of my other readers know, this first story was sort of the cop story, you know, with the werewolf thing going on. But the new story, if you've read the end, then this will make sense. It is more of a fugitive story. So we've got our characters are going to be a little more on the run. They're going to be going to a lot of different places. I'm going to be playing with a couple of parallel stories, because not only will you be following Kate and Mike, but we're also going to see what happens with all the folks back in Chicago, and our mysterious FBI agent, and what's going on with all that, and picking up the pieces in their wake. So a lot of exciting things coming up for our heroes, and I think it'll be going in some directions you might not be expecting.
Well, I've never been able to predict you, and I don't want to even start predicting you here. You kept me on the edge of my seat for the entire run here. I know it was a long series, but that's what we as readers are. We enjoy these types of series. If we are into it from page 1 or page 2 on, by all means, then this is the type of story we want, and I'm just so glad that you're able to give that to us.
Well, that's so great to hear that, because I knew that this was something that was going to take a lot longer than even I'd originally hoped, but I'm glad that the quality came through, that all that extra work paid off, because I wanted it to be something that when it was all done, that it would be worthwhile. It wouldn't be just another well, I finished that and throw it in the corner sort of thing. So I'm glad that carries through. So thank you.
Not a problem. And a couple of last questions. One would be, you know, C2E2 inaugural event. What are you personally going to take from this once this convention is all over?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's a good chance to return to Chicago to have a view, but I think also the fact that I'm at a more prominent booth is kind of feels like I've stepped over a threshold, like I've gone up a level. And I think I'm going to come away from this with a little bit more confidence in to do a little bit more stepping forward in the future, doing more things like this, doing more dealer tables and whatnot. I mean, I've had a fantastic run. I normally go to Artist Alley, but this seems to be a significant step up, and I'm really enjoying it.
Well, if I can just add my own 2 cents on this, I think this is where you fit. You fit in this area. You look comfortable behind this type of booth, and you know, you have your product here, you have your hard work showing. You don't need an Artist Alley table to show what you've done here. It's all in that book, it's all up here, and you've done a great job with it.
Well, thank you. I'm very glad that I can be here to present it to you.
And let's get the website for you there, and we'll take some nice production shots for you.
Absolutely. You can find Paradigm Shift at www.paradigmshiftmanga.com, and you can read the whole thing there for free. And I'll be starting up Act 2 next month, mid-May.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot, Dirk. I really appreciate it. Pleasure.
Oh.